Okay, so in the first 4 videos in this series, we looked at how to create a basic object in Onshape, in this case the letter H, using some of the different tools that are available to you. Now the way we did it wasn't particularly efficient, so I'm going to have a look at a better way of doing it, and in the process introduce some new tools. So I'm going to try to recreate what I've got here. Just as a reminder, the letter H we've got here is a 100 tool. It is 75 wide, and that's 25 and 25 and 25, and then the bar in the middle is also 25 wide. So we're going to try to recreate that using a different set of tools. So I'll create a new document, I'll call it H2. And then I'll go to the top plane and I'll start my sketch on the top plane. And I'm going to use a different tool this time. I'm going to use a thing called a center point rectangle. So with a center point rectangle, you press where you want the center to be. In this case, I chose the very center of my design. And then you drag your rectangle out. Okay. So at the moment, it's just a rectangle with no dimensions attached to it, but I'll go to the dimension tool that we saw last time, and I'll press there and there, and make that 100. And then I'm going to press there and there, and make that 75. So I've got the basic outline of my shape, and now I just need to put in the little cutouts for the H's. All right, so the way I'm going to do that, and again, this is maybe not the most efficient way of doing things, but I'm going to use this as a way of showing you a new tool. So the first thing I'm going to use is called a mirror tool, right? And the way the mirror tool is, you use it to reflect particular shapes across a line. Okay, so let's suppose that I wanted to, actually, you know what? I'll just get straight into it. I'm going to make 2 mirror lines here. I'm going to go to here, pick the line tool, and the first one I'm going to do is a horizontal line that goes through the middle of my rectangle, and then a vertical line that goes through the middle of my rectangle. Now, I've accidentally added a diagonal one there, so I need to get rid of that. It's probably a good time to introduce the delete function. So I want to get rid of this diagonal one here, so I press there. I need more options, so remember, tap with 2 fingers there for more options, and then down the bottom I have delete, so I pick that, and then I'll get rid of it. Okay, now these 2 lines I've put through the middle, the vertical one and the horizontal one, are going to be our reflection or mirror lines. They are not going to be part of our design though, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them into what's called a construction line. So a construction line is a line that's there to help you build your shape, but it's not going to turn up in the final design, okay? Because if this final design went to be laser cut and you've got a big line through the middle of it, it's just going to cut your design in half because it cuts wherever there's a solid line. So what we want to do is turn these 2 lines, the vertical one and the horizontal one, into dotted lines that won't appear in the final design. The way we do that is we press on the line we want to work on, so in this case that vertical line, and then we go over here where it's got that little icon there. And we can see by pressing that, I've turned my solid vertical line into a dotted vertical line. So now it's a construction line, right? And then I'll do the same thing on my horizontal line, press that, and now it's dotted as well. So now we've got our 2 reflection lines or mirror lines, and they're going to be construction lines, so they won't appear in our final design. So now I'm going to add on my H, the cutout of my H. So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to get a point, and I'm going to put that point somewhere here, and this is going to be like from here to here is going to be sort of like the top of one of the bars of the H. And if you recall in our design, the tops of the H bars were both 25 millimeters wide. So I'm going to press on there and press on there, and then I'm going to here set that to be 25. So now it's taken that point and it's positioned at 25 millimeters inwards. From there, I'm going to draw a another line down from there. And then I'm going to draw another line from there to my mirror line, okay? So that's going to be part of my H. Now let's say I didn't want to do the same thing on the other side. So what I can do in that case is I can make use of this mirror option. So to go to the mirror option, I press the pencil, pick mirror, which is down here. Okay, but sorry, I've done that wrong. Before I do that, I have to pick the things I want to mirror. So I'm going to press on that and press, oops. Okay, let's get out of that. All right, let's try again. That and that. There we go. So I've selected the things I want to mirror. Now I go to here. Now I pick mirror. And then I pick the line that I want to reflect this object in, which is the vertical line. So if I press on that, now it's put the same thing on the opposite side of that vertical line. And that should be all the same dimension now. So if it's 25 here, it should be 25 over here as well. Okay, now it's not quite an H yet, is it? Because it's this bit here is one solid line. So what I need to do is chop off some of that. Now, I could try pressing on it and then doing the double tap and delete, but as you see there, it's highlighted that entire line. So that would just delete the entire line. And we don't want to do that. We just want to delete the bit in the middle. So what I can do instead is I can go to here and choose an option called trim. And trim cuts off any part of the design that I press on. So if I press on there, it'll cut off that bit. If I press on there, it'll cut off that bit. So now we've got our little cutaway H that we wanted. Now, I just need to make sure that it is the right dimensions. Actually, we'll do that later. What I want to do now is I'm happy with that little cutaway H. I just want to get it on the opposite side, on the bottom side of my shape. So now I can use my mirror tool again, so I can select the things that I want to mirror. That bit, that bit, that bit, and that bit. I can go to here to where it says mirror, and I'll press on the horizontal line so that it gets mirrored in the opposite bit. So now it's down on the bottom as well, and then I just need to get my little snippy tool out, my trim, and cut off that bit, and cut off that bit. So that's looking pretty good. Probably the only thing I have to do now is in the original design that we were trying to imitate here, I just needed to make sure that the width of the bar from here to here was 25, okay? So I'll do that by going to the dimension tool and pressing on the corners here and here, and then saying that they are going to be 25 apart. And there you go. So there's our completed design. So that was, again, probably not the most efficient way of doing things. There are better ways of doing things than that, but that was a pretty quick way, and certainly much quicker than the freehand way we did earlier. So that's also some useful tools. The mirror tool and the trim tool you can use to make designs a lot quicker and faster than just by freehanding them.